Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and shelf record collector. So there's a link, a thread going around that was started by James Griffiths, and it's called the 10 LP Link Challenge. So you'll get the idea as I go along. Okay, I'm not going to explain it. You'll figure it out. If you haven't seen them, check James's out. There are a couple other ones out there which are pretty great. And it's sort of a fun little challenge to come up with. So I'm starting mine off with something that a lot of people, probably rock people, wouldn't know, is an album by the group called The Weavers. And this features Pete Seeger, Ronnie Gilbert, Lee Hayes, and Fred Hellerman. This is from 1962, I think. They were an American folk group. Pete Seeger was friends with Woody Guthrie, hung out with him for many years, played song music, was in a band called group called the Almanac Singers with Woody Guthrie early on. So we're starting off with The Weavers with Pete Seeger. That takes us into the next album, which is Pete Seeger and Arlo Guthrie, who Arlo, obviously Woody's son, and is a concert they did. They used to play a lot together in concerts once a year or so. So there's Pete Seeger and Arlo Guthrie. From that album, we then go to Arlo Guthrie's album, Hobo's Lullaby. Really great album, fun stuff, 1972. And on this album, one of the guitar players on the album is the great Ry Cooder. This is a great album by Ry Cooder, Borderline, which I absolutely love. And from this Ry Cooder album, we naturally go to the soundtrack to Performance, which featured Ry Cooder as well as Randy Newman and The Last Poets and a bunch of other great stuff. But Mick Jagger, obviously there's Mick, was in this movie. Not a great movie, but some good music and a great soundtrack. So from there, obviously, that guy Mick Jagger was in a group you might have heard of called the Rolling Stones. And this is their album, Out of Our Heads. There's a nice mono copy of it. And one of the people on this album who played piano in the background was a man named Jack Nitzsche. Jack Nitzsche was in a band, which we all know, called Crazy Horse, along with Nils Lofgren. Great album, by the way. Really great album. So Crazy Horse with Jack Nitzsche. Crazy Horse also played with Neil Young. And here's Neil Young and Crazy Horse Rust Never Sleeps album. Neil Young played in a group called Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Their second album, great album. And one of the guys in this band was David Crosby. And before he was in Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, he was in a group called The Byrds. And the Byrds recorded a song called Turn, 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 which was lyrics were from the Bible, but was put to song and music by Pete Seeger. And that brings us back to the Weavers. So there you go. From the Weavers to the Byrds and back again. Thought that was a fun little thing to do. See if you can find 10 albums that you can connect and bring back to where you started off from. I watch a couple. They're sort of a fun little exercise. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday and getting out, getting a little fresh air, walking around, and staying 6 feet apart. Okay? Until next time, everybody. Peace.